up? Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes, it is Tuesday and it is freezing here. I hope it's a little warmer where you are. It's 13 degrees outside here.
No, not much. Not by much. It's
Oh,
about 18 with the wind chill factor is 7.
oh, okay. Yeah, our wind chill factor, I think it feels like 6 right now. But I ain't trying to go out there. Matter of fact, ooh, I just checked and it's now 11. It didn't went down. So it's now 11 degrees here. So it's really, really cold. I know I was watching on the news that Texas is getting that ice right now, and they ain't, they don't be ready for that stuff.
Yeah, I heard they got a snowstorm coming. Oop, you there?
Sorry about that. My son had asked me a question. What,
Oh,
what now? I'm sorry. My son was asking me a question.
oh, no, I was just saying I heard Texas was getting a snowstorm.
Yeah, they got snowstorm and they got ice, and they were showing like the different areas with all the ice this morning and sliding all over the interstates and crashing and Texas, I mean, they said that what's that thing that messed up last time? The grid? Is that what they call it?
Probably so. I don't.
Yeah, I think it's called the grid. They said that's doing okay right now, so they're not suffering for any power outages like they did last time. So it's cold down there and it's slick. They said they putting something on the street, some pink juice, some pink flu, something like that. They putting on the street said it works better than salt, as far as less damage to the streets.
Yeah, I know down in the south they use sand a lot, and I forgot what else it's called. But they use a. It's called. I forgot what it's called, but it's yeah. They don't use salt. They use like a lot of sand and this other.
I don't know what we be using. I think it's sand. I think, but I don't know. But our streets be jacked up every time it starts to melt. Every time spring comes around, we be having these big old potholes in our streets. They be horrible, just horrible. So they trying to do a little better, but and then you gotta, if you damage your car, like your wheels or something like that, you have to send in a letter, send in a bill from the mechanic and all that to try to get your money back and hope they give you the money back. So yeah, it can be kind of a mess. But yeah, I just wanted to you got a lot of feedback noise. Is that like a fan or something?
No, nothing. Actually, nothing's on where I am.
Oh, it's kind of a loud buzzing noise, but I
Oh, I don't
don't know
know.
what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be.
Oh,
No,
okay.
anything on?
Okay. Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on lately. As far as we already know that there are certain players that's in the B sector right now who are constantly being spoken about and having commentary done on them. One of them right now is actually Beefing313, and you watch him, right? You subscribe to him, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yep. And then we got Tracy. We still got Kimmy, and we still got Misunderstood. And now people are bringing Five A's name into the picture, all over this money that allegedly Kimmy still owes to uh
Yeah,
what's
you.
her what I say Misunderstood. Now I'm not gonna do her dirty because a lot of people call her Mess Understood, including Sean Bradley.
Oh wow.
But I'm not gonna call her Misunderstood that. I'm not gonna call her that. I'm gonna respect her name and not call her what some people are calling her. But we had spoke about this a little bit the other day, and basically what we were saying, well, at least what I was saying. was everybody goes through hard times. Everybody has to reach out to somebody at one point in your life. But for you to never pay somebody back when you like specifically the message that uh Tracy showed on her channel was a text message from Kimmy that literally said, "Can I please borrow that $300 and I can pay you back?" She said like next Monday or something like that. And Misunderstood gave her the $300, but then Misunderstood had given her lots of money after that, including cash apps because she wanted to just support her channel. You know, people get cash apps and super chats all the time. So that was the case or the situation for that. So some people is like, well, if you still owe this girl $300, why? Ooh, that is loud, sis, slow child. Can you back out and come back in? It sounds like a whole bunch of crickets or a whole bunch of something going on in the background.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, it's really loud.
okay.
Oh, Cam, bring me your stuff. But yes, oh, everybody, please share out this live because this is our backup channel, and I'm trying to grow our backup channel. And a lot of times when I was going live from the main channel and also going live from the backup channel, a lot of people still kept watching the main channel. So I know some people was like, well, why don't you go live on the main channel and the backup channel at the same time, which you can do on StreamYard. But every time I do that, people would just tune into the main channel. So now I'm going live on the backup channel, and I'm also going live on my Tanya's PrimeTime channel, so I can grow both of these channels. The Tanya's PrimeTime channel is already monetized, but I want to grow both of these channels and try to get them up there to at least the point where the main channel is. We just like reached 5K. We're like a few people short from the 5K on the main channel, so I'm just trying to grow the rest of these channels. And Miss Cisco, now I hear nothing, so that is perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I don't know what that was, but sometimes you just gotta back out and come back in. But yeah, so we were talking about the Misunderstood and Tracy and Miss Kimmy thing. And basically we saw some receipts. Now Jay Wilson, who people think is riding really strong for Kimmy right now, um, every time somebody pins something on Kimmy, he's always like, well, show the receipts, drop the receipts, wear the receipt, you know. So Tracy showed the receipts saying that Kimmy owes $300 to Misunderstood. So now Jay Wilson is supposed to go live at noon. I don't know what he gonna show, but he said he's gonna take it slow, and he claims it's not gonna be clickbait because did you see Beefing 313's did you see his video last night?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so he made a video with this little duck. I thought it was the Aflac duck, but it's not. You know how some people be having like I don't know, like Tasha K used to have this bear all the time sitting in a chair next to her.
Yeah.
Uh, so some people be having props, I guess. So
Yeah.
BEEFING313 has like this duck, and he had it sit like right next to his face while he was talking or whatnot. But yeah, he was addressing all the people who have basically been hating. I don't call it hating. I really don't call it hating. I just call it people just giving their opinions of what he did the last time he went live. And the phone call. Was you there for the phone call, Cisco?
I not all of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I've been doing. So yeah,
But
I'm
you got like the gist of the phone call.
yeah, about mostly I heard the other guy though.
Yeah. See, okay, so the phone call that we heard from Troy Allen, aka Beefin 313. Um, he had hyped everybody up, told everybody to make sure to come to his channel. Don't miss it. Phone call from jail, from Rob Rax, and phone call with Misunderstood and Aquarius or whatever that dude name is. What is his name? Aquarius? Is it Aquarius?
Octavius.
Octavian. No, I say Aquarius. Okay. Octavian. And so when we went to the show, not only was it like a phone call less than a minute that basically just told B for 313 to have what's his name again?
Octavius, like
Okay, if I can remember
October.
Akbar, you remember Akbar?
Yeah,
If I can remember
Octavius
Akbar.
Akbar.
I don't know why I can't remember his name because Jay Wilson is always like, Octavius! Octavius! Okay, so he had hyped it up and said it's gonna be a phone call with Octavius, Misunderstood, and Rob Rax, right? So then we go to the live and he's deep. He got over 2,000 or whatever many people in there. And the phone call was a minute long, if that. And all it said was, "Hey, you guys, you found me over here."
That's what it said, girl.
Sorry, I wanted to give a shout out to the. Oh, she said the. She said the decoy duck. Do you see the chat? Hey, what's up, Miss Cruiser and Lena D? What's up?
Hey, Miss
Thank you guys
Cruiser.
for coming through. This is the backup the Hood Table channel. This one is called the Hood Table 402, which is our area code here in Omaha. But I'm trying to grow this channel up, our backup channel. And we were just discussing BEEFING313 and the backlash he's been getting, and him and JW going back and forth with each other. But yeah, it was about a minute phone call, Sis Low, and all he said from jail was, could you please contact
Octavius.
Octavius and tell
Give
him.
it. Yeah. Paul Tyrone.
I'm sorry, but Jay Wilson takes me out, and Jay
Call
Wilson takes me out.
Octavius and get my ish.
Yeah, he told him to have Octavius contact Misunderstood because I guess he got her phone number. Everybody got Misunderstood number set for us. And then also have her contact Tracy so Tracy could give all his belongings to his sister or to Octavius or something like that. And yes, Miss Cruiser, you can hit the link, please. Please do, love. And please, you guys, share out the live and tell people to hit the backup channel this morning. Let me put the banner up. Make sure. I'm pretty sure it's her, but I just want to make sure. Hey, Miss Cruiser.
Good morning. Hello. Hello. This is
Love.
Miss Chris. Hey, ladies. So I just came up real quick to explain why I think that it was actually a good video.
Please
Um,
explain. Please explain
okay.
because I.
So, hold on one second. I'm sorry. I have to, okay, put myself on break here. Give me just 1 second. So the reason why I think that it was a good video was because there was a lot said that wasn't said. There was a lot in what wasn't said or in the call. I didn't expect the call to be any more than somewhat of an introductory, us hearing Rob's voice for the first time since the arrest. And he basically told us it had something to do with the stuff that Tracy was holding. So we knew that. I didn't expect the call to be much more than that, but he did ask him how he was doing. Rob responded, man, not good. I mean, he didn't say not good, but something to that effect. He then gave us what his defense was going to be. He let us know what the defense was going to be. He's going to try to get that, what he feel like is an unlawful search thrown out. And if there is no search, there is no gun and there is no charge. So we learned that. We learned that nobody was answering his calls. How did we learn nobody was answering his calls? Because he remembered Octavius' number. So he would have called Octavius before he called this stranger Troy that he didn't even know. So obviously somebody wasn't answering their calls. So he had to call a stranger, which is Troy. So we learned that. I mean, we can assume that, because why would you call a stranger if you got your sister's number, you have Octavia's number by memory, you have old girl number that you don't spend a whole 4 days with, but you call Troy. So it was a lot of things that we learned from that phone call, that had not we heard that little itty bitty clip that people think is insignificant we wouldn't have never known. We would have still had questions. We learned that there was a lockbox because people was arguing whether there was a lockbox or not, whether that part was true. Well, we learned that part was true, that there was a lockbox. And the police did find the gun in the lockbox, whether they had to break the lock or whether they had to cut the lock. But we learned that. So it was a lot of things that if you go back to that video and get over the fact that it's only 1 minute and give it over the fact that a lot of us went over there to see what he was going to say about Tracy, probably, maybe. If you go back and listen to it, there was a whole lot in there, a whole lot in there.
Well,
or maybe that was just for us nerdy folks who likes law stuff.
I mean, I see where you're going. I mean, as far as the lockbox, we already knew that.
Well, we kind of knew. People argued that, whether there was one or not.
It was said by the guy who worked there.
But people said that the guy that worked there didn't even work there, that he was a fraud. So we learned that he really worked there.
I don't believe that either. I believe he really did work
there.
For him to be recording the footage and on top of that, I mean, we have people like Grinch and they'll say, that's the guy I talked to. That's the guy I talked to.
They say the Grinch don't always get the information right. So for those who already believed that everything that was going on, that Grinch was telling the truth, that she did call, that the guy really worked there and he was legit. For those who believe that, then no, it wasn't anything. But for those who was questioning it, because I have been in chats where they was like, that guy don't work there. He didn't even know what kind of car they was driving. He thought it was a Honda Accord. It was a Charger. Huh?
It was dumb right there because it was 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It was dark. Who is really looking at the make and model of a car when you're trying to focus on the person being arrested?
Mm-hmm.
So for the people who say he got the car wrong and all that kind of stuff, that's.
But it was a lot of people who was questioning a lot of stuff. So for those people who was questioning, that phone call confirmed some of the things that people was questioning and saying not true, and he wasn't there and he wasn't the guy and all of that. So it did, it did answer or confirm a lot of things for those who were questioning. I have been in some chats and around Lipstick Alley where they were questioning stuff.
Yeah, and that do explain. I mean, that does reconfirm because again, the guy who worked there did say that they had to use a grinder to open up because he said he could hear it, and those things are loud. So he said I could tell that they were using that to open up the lockbox.
Yeah.
So but he did reconfirm it during that phone call, and I'm not saying he didn't give anything. I'm basically just doing commentary on what other people have been saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't like it. They don't like any. There's a lot of people who don't like any of what Beefing is doing. And what's funny to me is some of those people who's complaining about it was trying to get it themselves.
But see, my thing is, I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they feel the way they do about that phone call. Mm-hmm. Trust and believe. I think it was just over. He was putting 20 on 10. It was over exaggerated. Mm-hmm. And it's like, because after he did all that, his numbers drastically dropped for the rest of the show. So it's like, I get why they were saying that, but I don't get why people are. Well,
it stayed steady at 1,500 for a good little while. It dropped from 2,100 to 1,500. Shoot, that's still
good. And I was rocking.
So it stayed steady that way. And when he went off, he had a strong 500 and something people still.
Exactly. And he did have numbers in there. But my point is that after he did that, they was like, whatever, this show ain't about to be about shit. So some people did just leave and start doing their own videos. Some people started taking his numbers, but he did hold at a nice number.
And he gave people something to talk about. Right. I mean, we're so unappreciative over here. And I'm not trying to just, I'm not out here windmilling for beefing because me and Troy be at odds a whole lot. We argued a whole lot. We disagree on more than we agree on, way more. We at odds about Rob's situation. Rather, I think he should stay on in there, and of course, beefing is kind of thinking that he should be given a little leniency.
And I don't think he should be in there. But my question that I was going to say was, I don't understand. Like I was trying to say, I understand why people was not really thrilled about the show he did or what was released or revealed, but I don't understand why so much aggression towards him.
Yeah,
which like
because he got it first.
like you just said, he did give out some information, so he didn't totally lie. But like, there are people who's really dragging him. I'm not one who's dragging him. I'm just doing the commentary. But
Yeah,
like Jay Wilson, that's why I put his name in the chat because Jay Wilson been dragging him about that phone call.
because he wanted it. Because Jay Wilson wanted that phone call. How many times have Jay Wilson said he was going to give us some tea and came out here and we heard and again 1,500 times.
So did you
So,
watch him this morning,
mm-hmm.
Jay
Yo, Jay,
Wilson?
I haven't watched it in a while.
Okay, well, what you gonna be doing at noon, child?
So
Central
what is
Standard.
this he got at noon coming out? I seen that on Lipstick Alley that he got something at noon.
Now,
Was it going to be a repeat of what Reed already put out?
I see. I'm not sure, and that's another reason why I came on here to see if anybody else knows because he claiming
Yeah.
at noon he's going to be dropping some receipts and some messages, and he said he's going to take it real slow to make sure everybody takes it all in, and also he promised it won't be clickbait. You know, throwing some more shade at beefing
Hmm.
again.
Yeah, Jay have never. Every time Jay have jumped around and ooh, ooh, and all of that, and he gives us information. We have said, is that was it? But we didn't drag him because we went running over there to see what it was. Maybe it was juicy to him. So yeah, so he's about to pull the same trick. We know that
I hope not
Jay.
because I'll get sick of
My
that stuff.
buddy Jay likes to. He's a copycat. He likes to repeat what worked for other people, see if it
But
works for
I
him.
hate when people do that. Like, okay, you know, old girl, the makeup lady, what's her name? Her and her
Joy
husband always getting a divorce. Um, she lives in a trailer park.
Tracy.
Tracy.
He's a,
Okay,
he,
so
he think
she
he's
created
interested in Tracy, and he think we're interested in Tracy. I'm not.
but listen.
Hmm. Go
She
ahead.
made a video the other day that said they done beat me up. And so
Hmm.
then we get over there and she's like, oh, y'all, I'm just playing. Didn't nobody beat me up. I just
Yeah.
clickbaited y'all. I'm like, and you gonna admit to the clickbait?
Yeah. And what's interesting is yesterday, I just said that I didn't listen to Jay, but yesterday I did click on him. I said, let me see if he's talking about anything, but he wasn't. But one of the things he did say is, what's really going on, y'all? What's really interesting is Tracy. I was like, Tracy,
And why though?
Tracy.
Why is she so interested? She sells Mary Kay and can't even apply it. Why is she so interested?
She ain't interesting to nobody but him.
I mean, every other month she's getting a divorce. She's getting kicked
Yeah.
out the trailer park. The
I think Jay is
neighbors
interested
are
in
kicking
Carlos, as he call him. Carlos.
Carlos,
Carlos.
he got to
Hmm.
exaggerate. Octavius, he got to
Yeah.
exaggerate everybody's name. But Beefing313 is in the chat, and you can click the link if you want to. Beefing, we just doing commentary on how Jay Wilson feels about you, and how a lot of people have been dragging you over that video, that phone call video. And Miss Cruiser did state in here that that phone call might not have been much as far as minute or lengthwise, but you did give out some information and you did promise to release a call, and that part you did do. But
And
as
the biggest thing is
go
we
ahead.
would not have otherwise heard from him at all. That was the first time we heard his voice since the arrest. And that's another thing, the voice. The difference in how he sounds online and how he sounds there was, was something also.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Well, okay, I'm with beefing, and I'm with a lot of people who believe he should not be there. And I know that's a debate that's going to go down to the end of time. People
Yeah.
believe what they believe. I believe he should not be there. I believe that Tracy wasn't in danger. I believe that she used this whole situation in her benefit. And then when she got tired of his ass, she she allowed the cops to take. That's just what I believe. And I know
Yeah. Well,
people
let me
have a
let
different.
me um
You
let
know,
me say this way. A lot of times we look at things kind of, and we, meaning myself too, one dimensional, because we're looking at this and we're looking at this on the beef sector, and we're looking at Tracy hanging with him and she cool and she go from one place to the other. But what we're not looking at is public safety. You're intoxicated and you're playing around and waving around a gun. Do you know how many people have been innocent people who ain't even know the person, who have been shot while somebody playing with a gun? They don't mean to. It was an accident. So for me, it goes to public safety. If you
hold on one
he's
second. Let me just verify.
uh
Is this you,
okay.
bro?
Nobody else different.
Okay. Go ahead, Cruiser, please.
So public. So for me, if we're looking at it from the point of view of was Tracy in safety, what her safety, then I say, okay, yeah, he's not shouldn't be in locked up. But the fact that public safety overall, now that's not the charge. So
No,
you
that's
know,
not the charge, and I'm
it's not the
still doing
charge.
that.
But the reason why, and I do say, and it's on my community board, and a lot of people's arguing with me over it. I do say that his defense is very weak, but not impossible, because if there is some that reasonable cause to go in and search without a warrant, is based on phone calls and videos,
Even if
and
they do
so
have
that
a
goes
permit,
to whether it's a reliable source or not. So it's shaky,
it's
but
very
it's not.
shaky.
Yeah.
It's
So,
very shaky.
but the reason why I'm glad he's in there is for public safety,
And see,
because
I'm
you
getting
cannot be waving around a gun drunk.
but still, yet I firmly believe that if she would have left, he would have went home.
Yeah, but
But he's still there.
he sits up at home and wave around that gun.
Hold on. He's still there. She's still there. He's still doing the same thing he's been doing since day one, day two, day three, day four. I mean, he's still doing the same shit, disrespecting her in the whole yard. If she would have left, he would have went home. So for people to say it was a public issue, I get that. But again, she stayed there continually day after day, making content, getting paid by her subscribers, racking up thousands of dollars,
Snatch
and woo woo
snatch
woo.
Tracy out of the
And
equation.
then I can't snatch her out that
But
situation.
I'm saying, just him. Just look at him. He didn't just start waving that gun when Tracy got there. He's been doing
But he
that
was at
months and
home.
months
He was
before.
at home.
Yeah, but
He was at
you're still
home.
waiting. If you shoot through the window and a car is passing, you just shot somebody. If you
I get
shoot
that,
through the
but
ceiling,
did
you know.
nobody call the cops on him when he was at home doing it?
Well,
He
thank God
was like,
finally somebody's going to stop him from waving that gun.
that's what I'm saying. Wasn't nobody concerned until then. But like I said, if she would have left, he would have been back at home, waving his gun around, cleaning his gun, whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, people still could have got shot through a window or shot through the door, or the mailman could have been shot walking down the street. But I don't believe he should be in jail. I just don't.
I believe not based on who he is. I think anybody who puts anybody, I don't care who it is, online, offline, black, white, anybody who puts public safety at risk
But
should
again,
be
public
should
safety.
be tucked away for the safety of the public. And I guess the reason why I feel so strongly about this is because I have a friend whose a bullet came through his ceiling a couple of years ago for New Year's, folks shooting up in the sky. And
Now,
I
a
have
lot of that
another.
happened in our neck of the city
Yeah.
too.
And I have somebody else extremely close to me who was shot in the neck from a stray bullet of somebody playing with a gun some years ago. So I know how serious people were just playing with guns, not just being a
And it
criminal,
can
not
be
shooting at
serious. So
people,
why
how
nobody
serious
called
it
the cops
is.
when before he met Tracy wasn't
Mhm.
nobody calling the cops. But then
Right. But thank God somebody finally did. For whatever reason, thank God for somebody finally did.
and thank God nobody got hurt. So
Right.
I mean, just as I was saying before, people is gonna agree, they're gonna not
Yeah.
agree, and I'm not gonna argue about my defense, but that's just how I feel. And I done
I
looked at
understand. I understand how
all
people
sides.
feel, because I think
I
their
done looked
feeling is
at it
based
from
on
all
just this
sides.
this one thing.
I didn't heard people say over and over and over again he deserves and why, and I didn't heard other people say why he doesn't. And let me make sure we got who we got in the background. Hey Silky and Willie 3.
Was good. Was good.
I'm gonna slide down here. I'm gonna get in the chat so I can hear everybody else.
Okay. Silky. Silky's up here on two screens.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah,
Let me
I'm
drop
here.
her down because I don't know what's up with that. Okay, go ahead, Willie 3. Welcome to the panel.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for allowing me to hit the hood table and chop it up with y'all.
You're welcome.
Um, I particularly came up here because that was a little bit crazy. She said she's glad somebody stopped him from waving a gun. But my whole thing is, if you look at how everything went down, when those cops came in there, they were very polite. There's only one or two reasons a cop could be very polite. Number one, there's no imminent danger. You got people speaking in their Caucasian voices. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, there was no gun present. You see what I'm saying? If there was a gun present, or let's say he had, let's say he had the gun and he was waving it around as the cops were coming in, you don't think both of them would have? You don't think both of them would have got some hot rounds? You know what I'm saying? They're not
It's
asking
me,
no
Tanya.
questions. That's a
It's me.
oh, okay. But yeah, that's to me. It's like y'all don't think
Miss
that
Preacher?
it would. Okay.
Yes, it's me.
Okay, I'm just making sure everybody's everybody. And Silky? What-
It's me.
Silky? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah. So basically, it's like if there would have been a gun waving, if he was so reckless with it, there had to been he had some sort of control because he knew what he was doing. Everything was for shock value. This whole thing was for shock value. So why are people happy when the shock value works for them, but they're not happy when the shock value doesn't work for them? That's my whole opinion about it because it seems like a bunch of Karens running around under black women's skin. That's what it seems like to me. Because how many of us have been in a household where you have an uncle, you have a brother, you have some sort of family member or family friend that has a gun? He's known for having it, he's known for carrying it. There are many states that are open carry. So are you going to call the gun? Are you going to call the cops on people with walking around with open carry? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
May
I
I
didn't.
respond, sir? What's your
Oh
name?
yeah, yes. Willie.
Willie. Hi, Willie.
Mm,
So,
go
first of
right
all,
ahead.
I myself, old country girl that I am, grew up around guns my whole life. I have two. I have two. One that I keep in my home, that's a 9, and then another one that I carry that I can switch from my body to my pocketbook easily. I carry it. I just traveled to Tennessee, had it checked at the airport, and carried it with me, and it was with me everywhere. I'm a gun carrier. There is a certain responsibility that goes along with carrying a gun. If anyone in my family is reckless with a gun, I will turn them in. Because again, I'm not talking about, I don't know Rob, don't know the man, I ain't really
Right.
know of him before this incident. Don't have no opinion of him one way or the other as far as him personally. But because of personal experience that hit me, I know what being reckless with a gun can cause. It can cause a bullet to go off in a neighborhood. The bullet can hit a step and go through an 8-year-old's neck and devastate a family. So me knowing that, that's what my opinion is based on. It's not based on no beef sector or no black sector or no YouTube beef. It's based on my experience with guns, my love of being able to be a gun carrier, and the responsibility that I think that goes with that. Now, if he's a shock jock, as you say, and the gun is safe and perhaps it don't have any bullets, then perhaps perhaps that's something that should be in the disclaimer. Hey y'all, it's all safe. This is just a show, like you watching TV, Matlock or one of the other TV shows.
But she did keep saying,
But other than that, we don't know this. So when I, as a person, you can't determine how I should feel as a person when I see, and a lot of times when we're looking at YouTube, regardless of what area of YouTube we're looking at, a lot of times we're looking at it with personal experience along with being entertained. So when I see somebody haphazardly dealing with a gun, it worries and bothers me. So that's why my opinion is anybody who serves any risk or something to the public, because I don't know. I don't know. I just see a gun. And I hear a man, and then they show other videos and they go back through the histories of YouTube them and show other videos. And it's like, whoa, he said he on what? What? This has happened before? Because I'm seeing this man for the first time with Tracy. I don't know this man. So again, you have to when you jump to judge somebody and calling them calling them Karens in black skin. then you have to, you may want to just sit and listen to them and see why that's their reasoning, instead of assume that there's someone that does not fight for black rights and does not believe in black rights. But there are some black folks I don't care nothing for. You put my life at risk, me and mine at risk, I don't care nothing for you, period. Because I like the responsible ones. Those are the ones I fight for. But if you being an idiot out here, I ain't got nothing for you. You can call me Karen, Jane, Jennifer, whatever you want to call me. It don't matter to me,
Well,
because
that okay.
if you are an irresponsible person who put other people at risk, your opinion of me does not matter, because I don't have a high opinion of you either. So we feel the same about each other. But I just wanted to come up here and say that that's why I feel that way. Not because I'm running around here being a Karen, but because of public safety. I know what guns can do. I own one. There is a great responsibility that goes with carrying a gun and owning guns.
Can I say this one thing to you? Now, she was there for an amount of like 5 or 6 days with him. At what point in time, when you initially saw the gun, did you say to yourself, "I'm going to stay"?
At what point did I say to myself, I'm going to
No,
what?
not you. We all
Well,
know
see,
who
I
I'm
can't
talking
talk. I
about.
can't speak for anybody else, sir. So you're trying to put
No,
me
no,
in a
no. I'm
group of
not
people
asking
speaking for
you.
others,
You're not
and you're
listening.
trying to go
I'm
back to
not,
the beef sector. I'm
ma'am.
speaking to the man with the gun.
Ma'am.
All that other
I'm
stuff, I
not
ain't got nothing to
talking
do with that.
about you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
But
you.
the reason why I answered
You
was
have
because
to
you was
be.
talking to me when you said a Karen, a black Karen. You was talking to me, so that's what I'm
No, no,
answering
no,
at.
no. I did never. I don't even know your name, so I could never be talking to you.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
let him finish his statement.
So, and respect to you, I totally understand where you're coming from. I do. I
Okay.
totally
So did you have
understand.
any other questions for me? Because I can slide down and listen otherwise, unless it's something that's addressed directly to me concerning what I
Well,
said.
for now, I'm just going to speak general because I don't want anybody to feel
Okay.
personalized
Because all
or.
the rest of that stuff, y'all looking at it from the point of view of Tracy
Well,
and Tracy's fault and
I'm
his
gonna
fault.
keep
I
calling them
don't care
black
nothing about that.
Karens.
I don't
I'm
care
gonna
nothing about
keep
that.
calling them black Karens because you know why? Because we're all black. A man was just beaten to his untimely demise. So that could have been the same for Rob when those cops were called. It could have been yeah. Oh, get him out of here. But what happens when he walks out that door? What happens when he doesn't understand? What happens when he's intoxicated and he doesn't really fully understand what's going on? That's the danger and what people are looking at and
So
what
so
people are.
what so
I
let me ask you
wasn't
this.
finished. I
Let me
wasn't
ask you this.
finished.
So how do we in a black community police the community when we have situations that like the one that happened in Memphis, Tennessee, with the man was where the cops were totally abusive, and it ended in that young man life being taken by those cops and everybody around him that was supposed to be the EMT, the fire department, everybody. So how do we as black people police our community when on one hand we do have people who is a risk or is putting our community at safety, but we're scared to call the police because if we call the police may beat that person to a pulp. But then on the other hand, we have people who's innocent, uh, who their their demise come at the hand of these bad police.
Well,
How do that's the questions, those are the conversations that we should be having. What do we do, in a black community when we do have some
But
people
see,
that's doing some
that's
stuff
where
they ain't
that
got no
difference of
business.
opinion. That's where that difference of opinion come in because it's a split here. Some people believe he was a threat to someone, and some people don't. So
Yeah. So
that's
I
a
don't
difference of opinion.
comparing him to that Memphis case is kind of that's a
I think
big
what
huge.
she's saying is okay. If sometimes it
But
does
how do we
happen,
determine
the
what's a threat or not?
police get called on
exactly. Thank you.
somebody,
Thank
police
you.
get called on to somebody, and next thing you know, they're dead. The gun was locked up, but yeah, it could have been easily the police shot his ass as soon as they came in there. I
The
heard you got
gun
a
was locked up at that time, Tanya, but we seen
I think that's where he's going with that.
the gun
Something
was locked up at that
happened.
The
time, but
gun
we
was
seen
locked
when the
up, so
gun
there was
wasn't
no
locked up.
imminent
Who
danger. So
who
okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
at that time? at that time the gun was locked up, but we seen several times when the gun wasn't locked up. Who was to determine when it was to be threat enough? Because we've seen times where guns have just went off and killed somebody. Tracy could have possibly been injured. Rob could have possibly been injured. What we saw is him being very irresponsible with the firearm.
But
Okay,
we cannot remove the fact, and I'm gonna let
I went
Willie
to
go. We
jail. I
cannot
went to
remove the fact
jail
that
for intimidation.
Tracy
I
kept
went
saying
to
she was
jail for
safe though.
intimidation, just threatening to beat somebody up.
But we cannot remove the fact that Tracy all that whole time, even afterwards, I felt she kept telling people she was safe. She wasn't scared. She wasn't threatened. She wasn't. So
She's
it's like
she.
anybody want
I
to call the
also think
cops.
that
She could have called the cops in at any
Tracy's
time,
not operating with sense either.
and that's a difference of opinion.
She
nah, we
could
can't
have,
So
say
but
that.
we
That's a
difference
grown
of
woman.
opinion
We're
as
not gonna do
well.
that. We're not going to do that. All of these women are grown. That's why I said they're operating like black Karens. Because when you see those older Karens in public, what do? They make a whole lot of hoopla out of nothing, out of a parking spot, out of you just cutting them off, out of you doing anything in public. So my thing is, when was she going to call the cops? After she hit Rob or before she hit Rob? So we're ruling out that. Now I know about that because I was watching too. She hit him upside the head. Why didn't he draw the gun on her? There was no threat, right? When she hit him, why didn't anybody call the cops on Tracy? If Tracy was if Tracy was the original person that you all were going after, not you, anybody on this panel, but we all know there were certain people that were after her too. So why didn't anybody have that same energy when Rob was attacked? He still didn't brandish a weapon. He still didn't pull it on her. He didn't draw it on her. She couldn't go live and say, "Oh, he pulled his gun on me." Then you can understand. Okay, there's an imminent threat. He done pulled a gun on her after there was a physical altercation. But after that physical altercation, that same person came online and said, "We're good. We're fine." So again, 5, 6 days go by. On the sixth day, when everything goes wrong for you, you want to end it. You want to throw him away. You want to get him locked up because you feel that he's going to come back and do something that could potentially harm or hurt your channel. Is that what this is all about? A channel? A man is locked up in jail around other murderers, killers, all types of people over an
but I don't
opinion,
think she wanted
over,
him
oh no,
locked up. I don't
excuse
think
me.
she ever would have called the police.
No, exactly. That's
Go
everyone's
ahead.
point. He wasn't trying to harm Tracy at any point in time. He still was looking at the good in her. Whatever good there may have been, he was still looking at the upside of it. He still was campaigning with her. Yes, yes, I'm still with her. I'm still with her. There's nothing wrong. Everything, we're good. She knew he had a gun. Anybody that's black, you know when a person is off the, even if they have a, let's say I see a person, they have a gun, right? I can pretty much tell within 10 to 20 seconds what's going to happen because I can see how they're handling it. Now, if he said he had a glove box and he had a lock box and it was locked away, there was no threat. That he does that on a regular basis. He's been doing that for years. He does that on his own stream. People come up, men. That's why I call it. That's why I say this is crazy because men get on his platform and don't call the cops on him, and he points the gun directly at them and says, listen, but everybody knows this shit is just you is not gonna go past that. There's a guy that lives directly in his neighborhood, probably within maybe 6 or 5 blocks within each other, and they're both on YouTube and they're rivals, and nothing's happened. That's why I say this is all crazy. This is all to protect. And now here's this. Now they're turning it into a game. Player one, player two, player three, player four. What the hell is y'all doing? And I'm not talking to you ladies on the panel. I'm talking to the sectors. What are y'all doing? Now you're playing a numbers game. Now it's the players' number. Now it's this person did that, and now their chat is going over 2,000. And we're counting numbers while a man is counting his days in jail. We don't know what's going to happen to them. If something does happen to them, guess what? They're going to comb through this whole fucking sector because they're going to say, "Well, wait a minute. Where does all of this start?" And when they do, this state is not going to be able to be removed. They're gonna be everybody. Just like when people ask who's, they say something about VS because I've been watching for a while. Oh, are you so and so CC? Nobody wants to claim it because something bad happened behind it. But this is that same
TSCC.
situation, huh?
Yeah, TSCC. Mm-hmm.
Right. But at the same time, nobody wants to be associated with it, just like nobody wants to be associated with this. People want to go about their lives. People want to make lives. People want to make money. They're making money off this man's back. He's sitting there. He's sitting there. Doesn't know when his next oodles and noodles is going to come from, or when his next meal is going to come from. And regardless of people put money on his books, that's adding insult to injury. I need 120,000, not 50, not 60, regardless. And like I said, support is support, but at the same time, now we're going to sit here and act like, oh my God, and you said, I heard you say, the lady that was up here, she said that, oh, I seen a video of him brandishing a weapon, and I'm a gun owner, and I don't think he was acting responsible. But at the same token, that's not for you to decide. That woman is there. That woman knows what she's doing. She booked the flight. She went into that room. She booked not one but two rooms. If the first Airbnb didn't succeed, why did you try again? If there was imminent danger. So we have to take accountability because this is weird. This is like you would you want your son, your husband, your uncle, somebody to be treated like this over a social media dispute, a simple social media dispute, as in numbers, channels, subscribers. And I'll digress because I don't want to talk too much. Respect to the hood table, but I'm here listening.
Thank you for your commentary. I do appreciate you jumping up on here. You can stay up here as long as you want.
I
I
appreciate
think
it.
Silky Black. I think Silky Black wants to say something.
No doubt, no doubt.
Go ahead,
I
Silky.
just know that it was, I do myself believe that the actions that we saw him doing was very irresponsible. They put it out there in front of the world to see it. He threatened to put three domes to her head. So when he's saying stuff like that, he don't know how everybody that's watching is gonna take that stuff. Some people
Did
some people take that very seriously. We didn't know this guy from a can of paint. So to see this stuff, if it was for shock value, it was very shocking whether he would go through with these things or not, knowing the fact that we never encountered this guy. We didn't know whether he would do that or not. And then he was intoxicated. So I can't say what a person intoxicated would do because they're very irrational when you're intoxicated. So I can't speak for what he could have did, would have did. I just know that his actions to me was being very irresponsible. And I did think whether she thought she was in danger from the things that he was saying, I felt that she was in danger. Did I call the police? No, I didn't. But I thought that what she was going through was pretty shocking to say the
And why do
most,
you
to
think
say the
Tracy?
least.
Why do you think Tracy's? I heard you say it before, but I just want the people who haven't heard. Why do you specifically think that she was in danger? Because a lot of us don't, and a lot of us didn't think it was worth calling the cops. And I just thought it was just. I ain't gonna say shock value, but I just thought he was just
you
bullshit.
all got
What
played? You
You
all
know,
Well,
got played
probably
because
because
she
me
knew you
being a
never
gun
seen that
owner,
before.
my children being gun owners, or I've never seen anybody, just play with their guns like that. That
Uh,
was the irresponsible part that I was witnessing.
but you all got played because she knew you weren't used to seeing that. You don't think she'd been around the block before and she's seen a Rob Rack show
yeah, she's been watching for a long time before
for a
we.
long time, and
Oh
it was
yeah.
an experiment. I'm gonna tell you guys, it was an experiment on you all to show you guys, hey, I can take a man and change him in less than 7 days, right? But what she didn't account for was his own smarts. Because you see somebody on the YouTube and you have one perception of them, you don't know them until you actually are around them in person for a long period of time.
And I did hear her say she thought she could change him. I did hear that, and I was like,
It was an experiment.
Oh,
Gladly so. Men do it, women do it all the time. A man, me, okay, I go out there, I go get a female, right?
It's
And
me.
then
I'm gonna go on mute.
okay.
and I go out there and I go get a female, and then I try to show my mans and I try to show my bros, look, I done trained her. Look how she responded to me. Look how she, look how she went in there to go fix the sandwich. It's the same thing with women. They do it all the time. Not every woman, but some women do this. They'll sit there, they'll try to change a man. They call it upgrade. Remember the song by Beyonce, Let Me Upgrade You? It's the same thing that's happening. And when you realize that a person is set in their ways and there's no turning back, there's nothing you can do about that. She should have had that understanding that this man is set in his ways. Now, the reason why I say you all got played is because, granted, I give you all that. You've never seen a man play like that with a gun. You've never seen a man brandish a weapon like that online. It's very shocking, but that's what she was banking on from you guys. You don't think she knew the danger? You don't think she knows the risk if the guns go off? You don't think she knows certain gun safety laws? You don't. She's from Texas, isn't she?
So
Yeah.
I have three
Yeah, she
questions
is.
for Willie. Well,
No
one
problem.
is a statement. I'm very familiar with TSCC, New VS. I don't want to say well because I ain't never met her in
No, you
person,
good. You good. You
but I
don't got
know
to
her.
do all that. Yeah.
But so that's the first thing. Second thing is how much responsibility goes with Rob, and let me give some background on that. Okay, so I've been around the beef sector. I ain't never been around the black sector, but the beef sector since 2018. I know that these people call FBI, CPS, the police, they call jobs, they call churches, they go to churches. So when I went to Tennessee and I checked my gun and took my gun with me, I was actually going to see YouTube people, three YouTube people that I had never met in my life before, just knew them from YouTube. But because I know that people call police, FBI, CPS, your job, your church, your mama. They call folks mama and they call folks daddy. There was a certain responsibility that even in that I carried because I didn't want to be arrested and I didn't want places called. So I say all that to say that it seems like a lot of responsibility is put on other people. But at any point did Rob say, you know what? I'm playing this game. I'm a shock jock, and people generally don't like shock jocks just overall. And so, and I know that I had a little bit of trouble in my background. So let me, in some way, protect myself from these people who don't like me and make some good decisions. How much of this do you put on Rob to protect himself from these people who we know that that do things like this? Because this ain't the first case where somebody called the police on somebody on YouTube.
Right. But here's the reason. Here's what I'll say before I answer that question. There was a lot of liquor purchase. Right. Now, why you've been watching now, hear me out. I'm not talking to you, I'm saying in general. She's been watching this man for a while. Everybody knows how Rob gets when he get liquor.
Yeah. So
Everybody.
we're gonna put some blame on Tracy. I agree with that. We're gonna put some blame on Tracy.
Well,
I'm
you can
with you on
say
that.
that. You can
I'm
say
with you on
that.
that.
I'm
But
trying.
how much we gonna put on Rob? Is Rob a child
Did
or is he
Rob
a
call the
grown
cops?
man?
Hold on. Did Rob call the cops on Tracy when he got hit?
But again,
No, no,
how
no.
much
There's no
are
but. Did
we
he call? Did
how
he
much
call the
are we
cops on her?
responsible for
Okay.
our own for things that could happen when you go
I said that
someplace
when
as
I
a
first
black
got on
man? do
here.
you do you are you aware that you're a black man and there are certain precautions that you got to take because of that?
Absolutely.
Or do you say,
Absolutely.
well, people should do the right thing by me. Nobody should wrong me. So hopefully nobody will, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
No,
trying
I
to,
get
to,
where you're
to
coming
ask
from.
you.
I'm
I hear
not
you blaming
saying.
it on Tracy. Listen, I ain't got no protection for Tracy. We ain't never saw it for each other ever.
Well, I get you're a
Ever. Me and her
supporter,
never
but
sorry for
I'm
each
just
other.
speaking.
You
I'm
say
speaking
cruising
from
in
my.
front of her right now, she'll cuss
Okay.
you out and cuss me out and cuss everybody out for even saying my name.
Well, I
But
don't
my,
care what
but
she
what I'm
does
trying to get
because I'm
across
a
to you,
grown
Willie,
man.
is I'm trying to get across to you, Willie, is that everybody needs to start being responsible for themselves. You can't go through life blaming other people for what happened to you. When you know that there are certain things that you're supposed to do and not supposed to do and stuff like that. When you know that, and that's what I'm not trying to blame, because blame ain't gonna change nothing. I'm
No,
trying
it's
to
not
get
a
us in a
blaming thing.
mentality and a
It's
mindset
real.
where we're taking responsibility, self-responsibility.
Okay, but what point do you take responsibility for your own people and not harming them? What point do you
I'm not
take? How many
responsible.
people?
You're not my people, sir. I don't know you. I
Wow,
don't know
but
you.
you're
I
black.
expect for you
You're
as
black though, right?
I expect for you as a man to take
Okay.
responsibility for you and make right decisions. That's what I expect. I expect for you to watch your back and make some and take some and say, you know what, there's some people out here that don't like me, so I'm gonna watch my own back.
Everybody's
I
still
don't know you.
skipping
You're
over
not
the
my
fact
people. You're not my people. I
she
don't know you.
every hold on. Everybody's still skipping over the fact that she hit him. So we're just gonna ignore that, right?
But what that got to do?
That
What
has
they got to do
everything to
with
do with it because
what
that
they
was the
have to do
first
with
test.
Rob's decisions and where
I'm
Rob
gonna tell you
landed?
because that was the first test. That she wanted him to retaliate so
But
that there could be a
but
probable
again, at
cause
what
for.
point did
Oh
so
my
why didn't Rob see
man.
any of this game played? And why didn't he say, you know what, this woman playing me, let me get out of here?
Because he wasn't there for that. He has a lot of trolls of his own. So in between that and whatever else is going on in the atmosphere, he wasn't there for that. He wasn't there to lock up Tracy. He wasn't there to betray her. He wasn't there to do all of that. But if you hit somebody, you put your hands on them. How do you expect the person to then feel? Are you going to then to expect
So
them
I
to
noticed
still?
that you're not answering my question. So I'm assuming that your answer to my question is
I
that
already
Rob
answered your
had
question
no
when I first got
control
on. I
and Rob
said
had
that
no
well,
responsibility in this at all. None.
well, no, you're putting words in my mouth. When I
What?
first
Because
got on
my
the
question
stream,
was what?
if I
Because
can
you keep
answer
trying to
you,
talk about a situation that frankly I don't care
well,
about.
I get that you're a supporter, but
A supporter
let
of
me
who,
answer
sir?
you.
I'm a supporter of who?
Well, when I
Of
first
who?
got on the stream, I answered your question
I'm a
pretty
supporter
much.
of who?
Well, I'm not going to get into that.
Because you don't,
I
because you should research it before you get into it. Because anybody around will tell you that me and
you don't
Tracy
have to
have
do
never
no,
seen
you
it
don't have
for
to
each
do no
other. We're
research.
not
This
supportive
is
of each other.
weird.
I'm blocked
A
from her
man
chat.
is in jail because you feel that a woman's life was in threat,
No,
but
no, sir, that's not
no
what
one,
no, I feel like
yeah.
he's in jail because, in my opinion,
He's in jail
first of
because
all,
people
first of
felt
all,
threatened.
first
He's
of
in
all,
jail because you
Willie,
all got tricked.
Willie, what I
He's in
want you
jail
to
because you
do,
all got bamboozled.
what I want you to do is go over to Miss Cruiser, click on my community tab and slide down, and you'll see where I have some terms up there concerning why I think that the defense really have a case for this concerning unlawful
No, I understand that. I
search.
know
So my point
that.
is that I'm not one minded. I'm not one dimensional. I can look at things in a lot of ways. I can first of all say that the defense do have a case for not guilty. I do believe that because what they went in there for and went in there with there, with the videotape and the people calling in, that is somewhat of a weak case because it's not reliable. The witnesses are not
I
reliable.
know
So
that.
I
I know
agree with you on
that.
that. I agree with you on
but
that. But my thing was that not that woman was not safe. My thing was that you keep skipping over, that you choose to not answer to. And you, cause you're so caught up on beef sector and YouTube that what you
if
won't
she
answer
put her
to
hands on him,
is
how is she not
self
safe? She must
responsibility
have felt some
and
type of
public
security
safety.
to hit him.
Because you're stuck there, so
Why would a
it's
woman
hard to
hit
have
a
a
man
conversation with
unless
you
they
when you're
feel
obviously
secure enough
fighting
that he's not
against
going to do
Tracy.
anything back? That
You
doesn't make
but
any
but but
sense.
sir,
No, no, no. We're not going to skip over
it's hard
that.
for me
She
to
felt
engage in
brave enough to
conversation with
put
you when you're
her,
stuck on
hold
Tracy.
on. She felt brave enough to put her hands on him.
What they got to do with what I'm asking
That
you?
has everything because you
It
said
has
that she was in
nothing to do
danger. If
with
she
what
was
I'm
in
asking
danger,
you. It has absolutely
why
nothing to
would
do
a
with what I'm
woman
asking
put,
you.
no, 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 no. But hear me out. Why would a woman put her hands on a man when there could
Listen,
be
hear
a
me
sort
out.
of
Why would
danger
a
and
woman get on the
lingering?
plane and go see a man that she don't know? I
No,
can't
you
answer you
can't
for
say she don't
Tracy.
know. No, no,
I
no,
can't.
no, no,
But
no.
sir,
Because you're.
let me
Why
ask this.
would
Let me ask you
somebody
this,
go take a plane trip to somebody
Mr. Willie,
they barely
Mr.
even
Willie,
know?
Mr.
You
Willie,
have to know that
Mr.
person
Willie,
in order to feel
Mr.
comfortable
Willie,
enough to take
Mr.
that
Willie.
trip.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Is this a conversation just about Tracy? No,
him?
you're trying to make
Because
it
if it's a
about that.
conversation
I'm
about
telling you
Tracy and him,
what's
we're on two different.
ethical. This is
We're
what's
talking about two
ethical, and
different
this is what's
things. We're
right.
not talking about the same
I'm not
topic.
doing that.
We can't hear
Mhm.
both of you. Can we let Willie talk
I'm trying to talk, but she's trying
Because
to
he's
like
not answering
overtalk
my
me and make
question,
it
so
about
I
one
don't even
person.
understand what he's talking about. Because I didn't ask anything about
All of
Tracy.
this
let's
is
just hear
fake
what he got to
victimhood.
say.
Like, what the hell going on?
He's trying to say.
This doesn't even make any sense. If she put her hands on him, what would make you think she's in danger?
That's not the question I'm asking you,
Before,
and I didn't say she was in danger. We agree that she's
oh
not
my
in danger.
God, now
We
she's not.
agree.
She's not after
We
he's locked
agree.
up.
We've been agreeing on that from the beginning. I said
What
that
the
from the
hell?
beginning. She wasn't in danger.
So what are you saying? You're saying she's not in danger, but you're coming at me
Okay.
saying that
So can you
there's
listen this time?
what, like I've been listening, but you're not allowing me to. You're not allowing me to just
But
say the
because
obvious.
we agree the things you said, she wasn't in
That's why I
danger.
said you're a supporter, because if you're not going to allow me to say what everybody is saying, like at what point in time do you
Because you
stop
keep saying that
yourself?
I said something I didn't say. I never said she was in danger. That was not any of my points at all.
I said everybody is saying she's in danger.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking to you. It's me and you, two of us.
Okay, so if you saying she's not in danger,
Mm-hmm.
then why do you feel Rob deserves to be in jail?
Because he was haphazardly waving around a gun, and it's again in
Oh my
public
God.
safety. Because waving around a gun, if a gun go off, let's eliminate her. Let's remove her from the equation. If you waving around a gun can go off and hit somebody innocent who hadn't got nothing to do with these two jokers in this hotel room. When
So
you
you're
wave
trying to say
around a
he's an
gun, you
imbecile?
put
Like,
other people's life at risk.
okay, so
And I ain't talking about Tracy.
all right,
Let's
so
eliminate.
on
Let's act
what
like Tracy
day?
does not exist.
Right.
I'm talking about
Okay, so
public
what
safety.
day
Bullets ain't
would
got
she
no name on
decide
it,
to
baby.
leave? Okay, so what day would it have been best to leave, noticing that there was a gun present?
Why are you asking me? I ain't got nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with what I'm
Relax.
saying.
No, relax. But
That has
this is
nothing
a
to do with
general
what I'm saying. You
question.
keep trying to take me back to a YouTube situation. I'm talking to you about
I'm not
life.
talking about no YouTube. This is real
You're trying to
life. A
take me
man is
back
really in
to
jail, so
YouTube
I don't know what you're
story.
talking about.
Sir,
YouTube. This ain't no YouTube.
respectfully, I can't have a discussion with you because
Okay, well,
you're
you
you're
don't
too
have
one
to.
dimensional. You
Let
can't
me
think
say what I
outside
have.
the box.
Okay, cool. I
You stuck in the
understand.
red roof
Right.
inn. You
Right.
stuck in the
Okay,
red
cool.
roof inn, and you don't know how to come outside and have a discussion overall. Because the question I came back to ask you was, how much responsibility in this did Rob have? And I noticed that you refused to answer that because you're one of those black men that believe that black men should
I
be
didn't
taken
refuse
care
to
of,
answer that. I
take
already
no
answered that.
responsibility for
I said he
nothing,
had
and we're gonna blame
responsibility. Like,
everything
what
on
do
the
you?
woman and the white
He was
person.
responsible
That's
enough
weak,
not to
sir.
hit her
You have to do
back.
better.
He was responsible enough not to hit her back. He was responsible enough not to call the cops. He was responsible enough to put the gun away at certain times when he wasn't doing anything with it. Now, my thing is, I'm not saying he doesn't have any responsibility with wielding a gun and things can happen and certain things can go off. But at the same time, we're not going to sit here and act like he's an idiot. He's a grown man. He knows what he's doing. She knows what he was doing. She knows how that looks on her. Like, oh my God, he has oh. We know what's going on. So at the same time, it's like, at what point did you stop and say, "There's a gun. Let me leave. Let me go back home"? Instead of allowing your viewers to see that on purpose because you want them to be shocked. You want them to see that because this is something they've never seen before in that sector. So now let me bring this to you guys. Let me let you guys freak out about it because this really excites me, but I'm going to let you guys freak out about it and I'm going to make a whole big hoopla about nothing. Not only am I going to make a big hoopla about it, but I'm going to hit this man upside the head and show you that he's harmless. And people are asking questions in the chat like, are you okay? Day one. Are you okay? Day two. Are you okay? Day three. And what is the response? We're good. Relax. Chill out.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing? So now on the last day, oh my, he's out of control. We can't, the project has gone wrong. Everything has gone wrong. This man's about to go back. And now, let's be honest. If he goes, okay, let's say the arrest never happens. He goes back his way. She goes back his way. Who do you think wins? Now we know that answer, but at the same time, now it's out of everybody's hands. You can't do nothing about it. He has the freedom of speech. And that was weighing in the balance. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, Rob is responsible because
It's me,
he
sis.
Okay.
Rob has responsibility in bringing the weapon. I do acknowledge that he has responsibility in bringing the weapon. Now, when you bring the weapon, okay, cool. But let's be honest, they're in a Red Roof Inn. How many other rooms probably have guns in them? How many other people probably bring their guns in a room? Because it's a Red Roof Inn, it's a motel. Anybody can come to your door. Anybody can knock. Anybody can bang it open. Whatever. Still got to be safe. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
I definitely feel you. I mean, I look at both sides of the coin and I understand from each side, but still, me personally, I don't think they should have called the cops on them. And, I'm gonna stand on that till forever. But it's interesting hearing all the different reasons behind why people believe what they believe. And I want to welcome. Excuse me. I think is my bro still on here? Yeah, my bro's still on here, and also Sislo, and we still got Silky on here, and we also got Nicole just joined the panel. So welcome to the channel, and everybody who's on here now in the chat. Please make sure you subscribe to the Hood Tables backup channel. This is our backup channel. We're trying to grow our backup channel. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And welcome to the chat. I think that's Grown Folks TV. Anybody else, if you want to hop on the panel, please feel free. Grown Folks TV, I'm always watching your show. I was just watching you this morning, as a matter of fact. y'all giving Jay Wilson the business lately. But Nicole.
Yeah, hey, hello to everyone on the panel. I can't see everybody's name, but grand rising and blessings
Good morning.
to everybody. I was enjoying listening to both of you guys. I don't think either one, Miss Cruiser or the gentleman that was speaking, are wrong. In regards to Rob's rack, I believe that it's 100% his responsibility, as well it was Tracy 100% her responsibility. Now, I'm just coming in, so forgive me if I say something that kind of, we already said that. I wasn't present for that. But from my research and what, I was told by watching and listening to Tracy, and I'm paraphrasing, that the police were already, just let me get this out. The police were already looking for Rob Rax and Tracy because the police had been called maybe a couple of days prior. And it was due to him flashing that gun and making threats to people over the computer. This was before she bopped him upside the head. Okay. So when they went to the Airbnb, the manager, and I don't know if this is true, but I believe Tracy said this. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. When they got to the Airbnb, she was put out of there because the police was looking for them or whatever, and because of the gun thing. So they just told them to get on out. She calls Rob. Rob tells her go to the nearest room. Da 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 da. She found the Red Roof Inn. It was close to a store, so he can be able to walk. And I want everybody to also consider, too, is this man a felon? If he is a felon, then it drops a lot of our arguments because he shouldn't have never even had the gun in the first place, right? Now, if he's not a felon, then we can walk the other path of least resistance, right? So after that, they go to the room. Mind you, the police still looking for him, but they couldn't find them. If you look on the video, the female cop had pulled her gun out, but because it seems that these officers had a good sense about themselves, Tracy with her high pitched voice, come on in. It didn't seem like an agitated state. So they de escalated the situation. Now, my thing is this, even if it was illegal for him to have a gun, right? Let's say it wasn't registered, if that's the laws down there, because I didn't look that up, but I do believe you have to have a registered gun. There's a possibility that this gun is a ghost gun, all right, which means it doesn't have a serial number on it, that he put it together, that he manufactured it somehow himself. He went and bought the stuff and the materials. Okay, you have to get a license though to have that. With him having an interlock in the vehicle, wouldn't that make him on some form of probation? Not necessarily felony probation, but it puts him under some type of responsibility that he ain't supposed to be doing this, that, and the third. So if, but when it gets to them opening up a safe, I do feel like Rob Racks, and based on what I read, that was illegal. That was illegal search and seizure to take a saw and crack open a safe. I do believe you have to have a warrant. They only can search things that they can open, that can be open and that they can see, not bussing into or altering, altering it without a signed warrant from a judge.
Right, right.
Okay, so if that's what it is, then the man in jail for something, even if he did break the law, they messed up, so it throws it out. I do think though that he is guilty for Penal Code 422, which is making threats, and we need to realize this is just me. And let me hold that thought too. The beef sector, and please don't get mad at me, I babe, but we didn't have people swing guns in the beef sector. That's not the first time. But I do believe that both of them got with each other for numbers building. Tracy wanted to get her some D and a man. You put that together. People was curious, but what she wasn't expecting is that she couldn't calm him down with her mustard pussy and and get him to chill out from his antics because she knew he was a wild card.
Mustard pussy.
Hey, but listen, that's what
Honest
it is. You
mustard.
can't control
I mean,
everybody.
right, you can't, right. So that's the part that she didn't think of. Because, us as women, we think, girl, let me just cook him something to eat. And I'm going to kiss him on his neck and bend over in front of his face. No, it was like the Super Bowl was on. All them people in that man's chat, he ain't never seen nothing like that. That's a feeling. It changes, it brings out who you are in the inside. And then also, if he was definitely under the influence. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an attorney or anything, but there's obviously some mental illness there, the way he yelling and screaming and threatening to cause harm to children. That was my biggest issue with people, even online, period. Like, why can't you express yourself without threatening physical harm? That's what I think that he should be arrested for if they violated the Fourth Amendment right. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
From
yes.
taking the gun,
I'll
from
give you
taking, you
that.
get what I'm
I'll
trying to
give you
say?
that. Yes, I'll give you that. If that was the only thing that occurred, I'll give you that.
Yeah. That's just an observation, brother. What you
No,
think
you.
about
No, I
my
respect
Can
it.
statement?
I
I ask
respect.
Willie a question? Willie, can I ask
Good.
you a question? Now,
No
I
doubt.
have only been, a lot of us in the B sector didn't know Rob Rack, from a campaign, but obviously Tracy known him for quite some time, and I had heard something about how they used to have these threesomes or virtual threesomes.
Phone conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I really don't know about him. So, how long have you known him? And is it true that he's been literally acting this way for years, even like making threats, and nobody's ever called the cops?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been around. He's like a jack of all trades. He's been around all sectors. So initially, when he was in the black sector, because usually, originally he was in the conscience sector, where they talk about the Bible and everything like that, and he was real off into that. But then somewhere along, he got into the beef, not the beef, the black sector, and then when he came to the black sector, we're kind of like, okay, this is like, we're not taking him seriously. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason why it's called the black sector for a reason. Now, I'm not a part of it, but I got to witness a lot of his panel appearances, and they were just basically treating him as a troll. Nobody took him really seriously. Even when the gun came out, that was the funniest part because we're like, you're pointing it at a screen, and we're on the other side on our computers, comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So it was always taken as a joke. It was always taken as, okay, get him off the panel. He's retarded. You see what I'm saying? And that was it. It was, but there was no real imminent threat to call or make this, that, and the third. Like words were spewed. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm a Scorpio as well, right? Now, when it comes to words and our tongue, we can cut deep. We can pretty much say something that is like, whoa, right? Now, he has that same ability. Now, pretty much, like I said, I've known him for about 4 going on 5 years. Not personally, but just knowing his character. I'm like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You're over the top. Okay, yeah, you're the shock jock. You're gonna say what most people won't say. It's kind of like the manosphere kind of talk where, they say, oh, the black man is this, the black man is dust, the black man is this, that. And, like, you know, he had that sort of rhetoric. And with that sort of rhetoric, it was just like, okay, that's him. That's who he's going to be. We're just going to take him for who he is. See what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like
But
it
he
was.
surely,
Yeah,
but threatening children, though, brother, you know what I'm saying? Threatening children, even though if he wasn't serious at all, he wouldn't even harm a fly. There's multiple different ways without violating the law. Now, majority of the time, cops are not going to kind of come out for that. But I don't y'all recall, was it Busy Bone that was online and he had, what would he have, like a sawed off shotgun or something? He
yeah.
was yelling and cussing online, and what they do? They kicked in his door, waving the fofo, and they dragged his ass on up out of there. So I'm just saying, ignorance of the law ain't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no excuse. So if he violated the law, you come over, you ain't no telling who watching us. You know what I'm saying? Look how many
Right,
people's in
right.
the chat. There's people all around the world. How many of them could be child that work at Child Protective Services, that are mandated reporters or teachers, or
No, you're
got a
correct.
family member that live right across the street, or they know that they brother that went up in there and cheating, you know, with somebody's wife at the top, and the
Right,
girl
right,
pregnant. You just don't know what's going on in people's mind. And he was immature and he was reckless. And I think the alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Because when he probably flashed the gun before, I heard what really escalated it for some people is that he was taking bullets out of it and putting them back in, and their arguments started to escalate, which put more anxiety within the people that were watching.
I see. I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. But can you remind me again, what sector do you usually associate with?
Well, I've been on YouTube, unfortunately, for many, many years. So I've been around before the B sector was even built. So I used to hang out like in the conscious sector, or where they had which it was called People and Blogs. It was like when YouTube was first built. There wasn't no live stream. There was no none of this stuff. It was just you come on, and then if somebody like your video, you have to do an approval to do a video response. I'm from that era, like when it was first being built.
Oh, you go
Yeah,
way
YouTube
yeah,
back,
period.
like so flats.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. And you know, and I'll just say this one thing. The reason why I ask that is because there's no limit to what people will go. You know, when they're beefing and when they're going back and forth. So you know, and I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. You guys were duped, right? When I say anybody that was watching that wasn't familiar with Rob Rack, that's what I mean, to be honest, right? So you guys were duped into believing that this was like, wow, you know, so, but it
That
wasn't
it was
that.
real, right? That
Yeah,
it was
right.
real.
Because
They
Exactly.
social they social experimented the hell out the damn audience
That's why I
and
call it
got
an
their damn
experiment.
coin. Yep,
Yes.
got they damn coin. But the unexpected was three felonies and a misdemeanor. That wasn't part of the deal.
I
and
get
we
you.
haven't seen stuff like that going. We done seen a lot of shit going on in the B sector, but nothing like that. And I think a lot of us agree that he shouldn't have been uh brandishing a weapon, and that's whether you got a CCW like I do, or if you don't, like if whether you open carry, whether you gotta be concealed carry, because we in Nebraska, so we have to have a concealed carry here. But it was wrong for him to be brandishing that gun. But you know, again, people just gonna continue to agree or disagree if it was actually a threat, or
Here's what
if
I'm
it
saying.
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's what I'm saying, Hood Table.
Mhm.
Now, we all seen the infamous fight where a lady pulled up to a restaurant and they got it on, right? Now,
Right.
Mhm.
with that situation,
The
cops were
infamous.
called, right? Cops were
Right.
called. Now, that was just a fight. See what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
know if there's been any other any other situations where that has happened, or was that the only thing that? was really over the
No, the
top.
police have been called, but somebody actually getting detained and arrested and charged that we kind of aware of what that goes on in the B sector was just her. Was it somebody else that got? Oh, Tracy got arrested. She called the
Yeah,
police on
Tracy got
herself.
arrested. Yeah.
She called the police on herself and ended up because she had a warrant because she felt that she was being harassed. She didn't know that she had a warrant, and then she ended up going to jail. But see, the thing is, the laws were different back then. Why they've been playing in our face on the news and all this other stuff. And let me be quiet because I'll start some. Let me be quiet. I'm
No,
sorry. I was
I
about to.
understand. No, no, no.
You
I
know what I'm
absolutely get where you're
saying?
coming from.
They trying to,
Yeah.
the laws didn't change. So we got haters sitting back in the plane waiting for one of us niggas, because that's how they look at all of us, to get caught slipping.
True. That
And
is
then
true.
if we make the atmosphere for them to come in, the feds been over here watching. They just waiting for the laws to get in order. We their social experiment. that's
No, yeah,
that's
definitely.
that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. And we getting screwed by the algorithm. It's like if you go to the casino, right? You go to the casino and you hit, let's say, $30,000. You're gonna get gold fever. That's what the algorithm does to somebody. You get 1,500 people in your chat. You got to top what you did to get that 1,500, so you can get that 2,000. But what they did was is play on people's emotions with domestic violence, and that triggered a bomb. They should go
Yep.
to jail based on that. That's evil. It's wrong. People could have got hurt, and I do think that he should have pressed charges against Tracy for bopping him upside his damn head.
And that was
See,
the
guess what?
thing.
Hold up,
Oh
y'all. Let me
God.
let me just ask this real quick, Willie. The fact that he did get hit upside his head, do you think that's why? And excuse me, do you think that's why a lot of people might have called too because they thought he was going to retaliate because of that? But again, nobody called when she hit him on the head, so we can't let that bypass that.
Right, right.
But but
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
was
you
just gonna
good.
say this briefly. Tanya, let's not forget the police had already been called. They could not find them. I think we need to remember that
Yeah,
and
there
have
was
that.
people who was
The
called
police had
that.
already and they couldn't find them. So they already had been called. So who made that who or what area made that initial phone call to find them?
I
All of this
don't
other
know.
stuff had
Probably
escalated.
It was so many people calling. I mean, I only know two for sure, and that's Grish and that Simply lady. I don't know who else probably called, but I know Grish, she didn't call until like that last day or that night or something like that because she thought that he was escalating to probably do something within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's what her excuse was. And she's part of his.
I agree with her because if you go back and you watch the video, that's the reason why I said was this a setup? Did she realize, okay, wait a minute, he not feeling me, so let me press the gas because to me she didn't do anything to de-escalate. That's why she was so calm, in my opinion. When and she's probably gonna cuss me out, but I don't care.
But
But
it is what it is. She was extremely calm. Like she
right.
was not
What did she say? She said, "Take him away." Where? I just can some. Please forgive me for yelling, but this pissed me off. Where the police was supposed to take him to Applebee's? The police don't. They're not Uber drivers. They don't drop
Yeah,
you. They don't drop the homie at home because he drunk getting on your nerves. They gonna take your ass to jail. So I don't understand that. Right there for me was like, your alliance right there is not a lying thing. The social experiment is now over.
right. And then
What
what you
says
do with
you,
an
right?
experiment when it's done, you got
mm-hmm,
to throw it away.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, this was a sacrifice because, like, I'm gonna go back to
Thank
what I was
you.
saying earlier. Because
Thank you.
now people are saying player one, player two. Now they're comparing numbers and they're saying, well, this person topped this by doing this, and this person, they got to go over that person and stuff like that. So now you telling, so now how I'm looking at it, I'm not blaming anybody, and this is why I'm gonna say to me right now, it didn't even really matter who from that sector called because this was what it was all about in the beginning. It was a sacrifice to get more numbers. You got to, just like in war, when
Thank
you have
you.
a war, you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to win this war" without losing some soldiers. You see what I'm saying? But in this case, Rob was that veteran. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He was that he
Right.
was that soldier that would take one on the chin, as he did when she hit him upside the head. He'll take one on the
Mm-hmm.
chin. We're listen, we're Scorpios. We can take a lot of shit. It takes a lot for us to really wow explode. And the factor that made him do that explosion was the result of the test. I'm not gonna say which taste, I'm not gonna divide go into all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
there was a request that he wanted to know if that was a possibility or if he contracted anything. And when that question wasn't answered,
Oh yeah, when he
Mm-hmm.
accused her of giving her the three letters and everything else.
right, and when that came about, there was a lot of diversion, there was a lot of distractions, and then the countdown started. So to me, I'm not excusing Rob for being, uh, kind of, how can I say, just being naive for bringing the gun and understanding that there could be a risk factor. But I don't think he fully did his homework on
He
Tracy to that
didn't.
point to
He
see
did. He
like,
couldn't have.
okay, if I bring this, what's going to happen? He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really know everybody else. We can all see when he went up there to address Kemi. He didn't have no regard because he doesn't really he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like, look how he talked about. He's like, oh, hi babe, oh shit, she looks good. You see, because he don't know nobody.
Right, and obviously those two, but you can tell like okay where he's seen what can kind of press her buttons after that because if you listen to the audio, she like, all right, nigga, I see what you want to do. You with the F crap. Okay, so we not on the same team anymore. So what's up? Why she on the phone? Yakking, oh, this bitch ass nigga, his car ain't shit. Now I know from experience, you do that to a man and you keep shooting off at the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the dude drunk, you seconds away from getting bopped upside the head or choked out or something. But the dude didn't do nothing. He just kept sitting there. And at that time, he was actually talking kind of low, like, all right, I went to go see five. I believe that shit wasn't a part of the plan, man. He was way too calm.
I think when he
That's
realized it was an experiment, that's when he lost it.
mm-hmm. But
Because
it was too late
yeah,
then. He was in
it
handcuffs.
was, yeah, it
You know
was.
what I'm saying? That was supposed to be the best for both worlds, but Tracy wasn't going to allow herself not to come out on top. She's older. She's been online. She has no fear of being arrested.
As
She
long
has
as you
no
know they
fear of
could
what
have
comes.
ran it up.
Yeah, she has
They
no
could have ran it
regard for the no regard for the law.
up. Mm.
Yeah,
So
so
he was messing with a beast.
when I first, me first, I'll give y'all a real perspective on how when I first seen him too. I said, wow. I said, damn, like Rob getting an upgrade out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it because I know the nature of what's going on. I've seen the videos. I've looked at all of the smaller channels that do reaction to those videos. I've seen people put videos up of it getting real to the point of FBI being involved. You see what I'm saying? So
Well, with Tracy, that already was. People, I just don't seem to understand, especially the brother being from the conscious sector, right, Willie? And
yeah,
everybody, why that didn't kick in. People despise this woman. She's called the cops on people. She's done CPS. They've been waiting for Tracy to slip. They're not just waiting for a wig to fall off on camera because that didn't already happen.
right.
Okay?
I'm
Where she
not gonna
didn't,
act like
they
okay.
want that woman to go down.
I've heard that, and like I said, I've when I when, and I heard all of that, so I couldn't believe the amount of support that was being thrown towards it. But I also knew that it was a troll move in itself because I was laughing. Everybody is just laughing because they like this is one big fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anybody was really taking that seriously. And I know that they're gonna have some support that's gonna run
I
back.
sure did.
Oh, this person is talking, that person is talking. Listen, I'm a grown man.
I
And
didn't
when
take
I
it
see
seriously at
something,
all.
okay, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, babe. I was just saying I didn't see it as serious as it was either, but yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I'm a grown man, so I know there's gonna be some people that go back and be like, "Oh, this person said that, that person said that." It is what it is. You got to make it right. Now you can go back and you can blame, 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 blame. But when the reality hits and it's your son, it's your father, it's your side of the family that goes through something like that, it's not going to be so, oh my God. You're going to want to de-escalate everything. You're not going to want the cops being called. You're not going to want them showing up to the hotel. You're not going to want none of that extra shit going on. But these are things that happen. And man, I'm going to speak my mind because I feel that there was a big injustice done to him, and then there was a big sacrifice done to him. While he's sitting in the cell, they're sitting up there plotting on how they're going to keep the numbers in the chat. So it's at the end of the day, I do acknowledge that he had responsibility in being there, and I'm not going to sit here and act like he didn't know the benefit of having her around. Everybody pretty much can. That's the first thing you notice because there's a
Hmm.
lot of support. People
Yeah,
donate. Yeah.
Tracy brings numbers and she brings donators. She is a mini cash cow to someone that goes from 50 or 30 people in your chat to 1,000. It's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar up in this mother sucker? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So he gave them a show, and that show turned out to be dancing all over the face of domestic violence, which is a super trigger for white, black. It don't matter. So you got women all up in their feelings, flashback and PSTD and the Lord Jesus
No,
early. You
I
know what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
that's yeah, right,
PTSD
right.
then click then fired off in people's brains and they like, oh Lord, and his kids next door. Oh, we gotta get this nigga out of here and get them both in jail. You know what I'm saying? But the women, us as women, felt empathy for her because of the desperate that she's been locked in the house. She ain't been nowhere. She finally getting out. Okay, the evil part of Tracy kind of over. We don't want to see nobody hurt. It was a social experiment that it was demonic shit.
It
Mm-mm.
was
No, it
crazy. I wish they
was.
would have went their
You
separate
play too
ways
much.
after they got kicked out the Airbnb. I wish they would have really just went their separate ways because it was quite obvious to everybody watching that this relationship is not what it is. Like
It was
it's
it's crazy, and
Right.
then in the same sense, um, you know, it's like I said, I'm not one to sit here and do the whole oh, everything is on that person, but we all know what's up, and like you said, it's shock factor. So like I said, a lot of y'all emotions were played on. A lot of y'all didn't know what was going on. It happens every day on panels. You might see somebody new, but what you don't know is that there's a content creator behind the scenes that knows what that person is going to bring to the platform. They know that their chat is not moving. They know that their chat is stagnant. They know that the content is the same. So a lot of people look for that change or they look for that little shift and let's see how I can kind of shock my audience today without them, kind of figuring out what I'm gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? And figuring out my whole
Right.
scheme for the day because you got to figure out a
Hmm.
way to make money every day on this app. There's all sorts of
Yep.
ways, but however, I do not subscribe to trying to now because now there's this whole thing. Obviously there's some women in the chat who have a lot of class, who have stature. They're somewhere in life. I understand that, but that's where it comes in. That's where they're getting duped at because she knows this. She knows that there are cash cows in the chat. There are people that donate behind the scenes that don't want to be, recognized on the front end, but they'll donate on the back end for the for the foolery. You see what I'm saying? They'll
People were
donate for that.
donating. They were donating to get her out of there,
yep.
to be salvation. They
Really?
triggered people's codependency. Yeah, it's deep, brother. That's what I'm saying. Let me and Tanya was talking about that on my channel. The codependency. They got all up in that. That's what makes it so. It makes it so demonic. And I know that she was aware of that because she knows about domestic violence. She knows about those things, but she was trying her best to separate the two platforms, and there was no way that that was going to even be a possibility unless they really truly broke apart.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Yeah,
I'll say this.
she did
Oh,
get a
good.
lot of money for that because people were under the impression when she was saying stuff like I can't take it anymore, I'm done, I'm over this. She was saying
Yeah,
things
those are the
like
strings being pulled. Yeah.
that. Yeah. And so people were like, oh shoot, she ready to go, she fed up, she ready to go. Let's cash app her so we can get her the hell up out of there. Now she knew, even if she said it wasn't a scam or not, she knew the premise of why people were doing that. Like you don't normally make 3K in a night on a cash app. That's not. I mean, come on, we ain't Tasha K's over here and all them other people.
Right.
Right,
So
right.
Taking all
Yeah.
them
she's still
people
saying that's
pre-tax
why,
money.
right, that's why people were saying she should get the money back. But you know,
My thing is they're not angry. They're not. So I no, and let me not say that too, because I did see some people voice their opinion on that. Some people said, "Well, I gave you money. Why didn't you get? Why didn't you leave and stuff like that?" But in the same sense, those same people know, like, okay, you're giving them money, but there's a chance that you know if this is a relationship, it's just like in the regular life. If you try to separate a woman from a man, she's eventually going to keep running back to him. You know what I'm saying? To fill whatever void that he may have filled for her.
and that's
So
why I
it,
say,
Well, remember they broke up. Oh, sorry. Go, Tanya. I
no.
apologize.
Hold on. Yeah, I was just want to say that's why I was saying earlier. I mean, had the cops not been called, hell, I think the next day they probably would have made up again because the way that
A
it
few
went,
hours, girl.
thought she was leaving. She got all that money. Then an hour so, oh, ain't nothing wrong with us making up. What? Why everybody mad because we made up? How we know that they were
Hmm.
gonna make up again, like the next day or
Thank you. Right.
yeah, they was that like it that like I said, everybody was preyed upon, and I will say that with a P, but they were preyed upon because at the same time, it's like okay, you know your people, you know who's in the chat, you know who's scary, you know who's a little bit timid, you know what I'm saying, you know who's kind of like. They're everybody's wary of everything, and then you have those real females that seen it all. They're not amused. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking at it like, what? Okay, all right. It's nothing. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's really nothing to them. But this just goes to show you that it's when it becomes really real, like it's out of everyone's hands. You see what I'm saying? Like when it's really that serious, or if there's really imminent danger, it will be out of your hands. There will be nothing you can do about it. So on like how we all found out about the guy from Memphis. None of us could do anything about it because this was going on in the middle of the night in a neighborhood where it's pretty much nobody outside. You see what I'm saying? So if there's real threat or
Yeah.
if there's real things happening, we're not going to find out till later. Just like we found out he got hit upside the head later. We didn't find out right then and there on live. We just found out later on. We would never found that out if he'd have never said anything. You see what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yep.
So
And I think that he was trying to lay the stage when he had said that. There, where was the outrage of this man being hit in the head, already knowing that he had a gun on him and ammunition, and he was drunk. Why would you hit that dude like that? Even if it was a mush or a little whatever, you
And she
still
said he was even
violated the law.
crying. She said he was even crying in the bathroom after
He
she.
probably
yeah, I
wasn't.
remember
He
all of that.
probably he probably was embarrassed, like because he was crying because he couldn't hit. He can't hit her. He got a
Can't do
gun, an
nothing.
interlock in the
And
car. He
that's what
can't
he
do nothing.
said.
He was
That's what he.
trapped. He was trapped. Like damn. She was. That's why I said she escalated that shit. She didn't de-escalate it.
And the
You
cops were
don't do that.
him even though he didn't do anything. And that's my. But again, we can argue and go back and forth all day, and I try not to argue on here. The hood table, we have this thing. We agree to disagree, and we move on. We live to see another day. I'll holler at you tomorrow. But that's how we try to keep it over here. But
Yeah, and I respect everybody. I appreciate everybody for giving their feedback, but I just want y'all to just take a step back and just understand it is not that serious, and you all being played. And it's not a play like, oh, it's a play, and okay, cool, I can log off. No, you all being played into now. Eventually at some point, you're not going to be able to say anything. Even if you're a supporter, you're going to be looked at as, oh, well, you were there too. Didn't you participate? Didn't you help me do this? You see what I'm saying? So everybody that's participating in that boat is only, they're slowly just, putting more and more stuff on themselves. The more and more you stay within that area and you keep doing things for this person, you keep doing a lot. And notice I say this person because I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to talk about anybody in a derogatory way or in a harmful way. I'm just here to say just be smart as a subscriber and understand when you're being put in a line of fire, and you could potentially have a responsibility in some of this. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to phone call. Let's go back to phone records. Who called? Who did this? Like I said again, if something happens to them behind the wall, it's really going to become serious. Now it's not a laughing matter. Now it's not about, oh, he deserves three. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. It doesn't matter. Some people are just like that. They wake up like that. We know all kind of family members that wake up just drunk. They just that's it. That's it for the day.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
And then
saying?
you combine
Yeah.
that with mental illness. I think. Oh Lord.
Well,
No,
I
you good. We can
wanted
hear
to
you.
highlight this comment again in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is from Moving Around. And hey, just cooling and perfect pure. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge everybody in the chat. Hello, welcome to everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe to this backup channel, please, and thank you. We're trying to grow our backup channel. But I want to highlight this comment with Move Around. It speaks volumes to see a woman allow a man to debase her in the presence of supporters, friends, and foes. She is not mentally sound. Now, okay, I just want to say this little bit about that. A lot of people are saying Rob Rack needs some mental help, and I'll just leave it right there.
No, and I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with
Yeah,
anything.
we agree with that, but ain't nobody really.
Yeah, like get him a psychiatrist. If you're really getting that amount of money and you're really around all of these people that are really important and these people have bags and things like that, why not have y'all went to if it really was about being real and trying to see the goodness in him, why not go to a therapist? Why not make that content? That would be content. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
because a lot of people
yeah,
think something wrong with her, like this comment, and that ain't the first comment, that ain't the 50th or the 100 comment. People feel like she's something wrong with her too, because what woman do you know besides maybe a crackhead or something like that who would sit on live TV and let some man defame her like that? On not TV, but live YouTube, and let some man defend her like that, regardless if Rob was wrong or right. She allowed him to
Right.
do certain things day in and day out on their channels. And she sat right there. He
I
loves
would
me.
I would never do that to like a woman sitting right there and then you just grab and go against the abdomen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
And a
you
woman
gonna
that's
get
gonna
slapped. You know what I'm
know
saying?
bust you in your shit, like real shit. Like,
Exactly.
what's
And
wrong with you?
now let's say that happened, right? Like let's get that order. Let's get that situation right there. Now let's say that happened, right? And then he does that, and then she retaliated in that sense. I would not have a problem with it because I would not do that myself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
you looking to get swung on. I don't care if you my nigga or not. You just grab
right.
my shit like that and pulling on my nips and all that kind of stuff while people watching.
That's
You ain't
kind of
gonna
like
put me
being
with
at the
that shit in the
barbecue and that
public.
happening.
Do that walking down the street. You can
No,
say do it then.
that's an offense, really. That's yeah. You can actually, if somebody
And
can
that's
actually
where I
really
say
pursue
I
something.
agree that both of them might need some type of you know, they might both might need to be laying on a couch somewhere. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's a sad situation. And, I just want people to make it right. I'm not here to bash anybody, so if anybody takes this message back or says anything, just understand that I'm not here to bash. I'm here to just say that, stop trying to fool your subscribers. Stop trying to fool your people. Stop putting them in predicaments where they have to make a life altering decision because a man's life has been altered, whether anybody likes it or not. With all of that hanging in the balance. Everybody once said, "Oh, this is just YouTube. This is just YouTube." Okay, so now let's just act like it's YouTube. Let's stop bringing personal feelings into it. I see people they regard people in personal matter. That's my auntie. That's my sister. That's my brother. Is it really?
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I know if that was my cousin, sister, well, I know none of us would do anything like that, but just let's say they did. And I know I'd be shoot. Our folks would have been flew down there to your ass. Bitch, what the fuck wrong with you? Get the fuck out this damn hotel. Like, what is you doing? The
Right.
clicks and views and money ain't nothing worth that. And I'll have a small channel forever if I gotta do some of the shit that people be doing on here for clicks and views.
Right, right. It's a shame now. Like I said, now people are looking at okay, now who's going to top it? Who's going to do something else? So yeah, this is just it's like it's sad to say, but then like how are y'all going to top this? Like you really talking about topping that? Like how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole lot of intangibles going on. But I appreciate you, the hood table. Thank you for letting
I
me up. And
appreciate you too. You
yeah,
have a channel? Because I've been seeing it in people's chats and stuff.
my channel is Willie3. Is how you spell it, WILLI3. That's about it. And I don't do any content on people. I did one video about Rob Rack's charges, what he's
Oh,
locked up for, and also I just did a video on Tyree Nichols. They had
you
a
don't do any content? Maybe I'm on the wrong channel. You got like 6,000 subscribers
yeah.
and you don't do content?
Those are from shorts. If you go to my shorts and you look at my shorts,
I'm
um,
gonna
uh,
subscribe to your channel anyway.
yeah,
I'm
yeah. But
subscribing
I
to
get
it
my
right now.
subscribers from my shorts. When I upload
Okay.
shorts, they do a lot of views. So
Okay.
I'm slowly transitioning into the regular videos and everything like that. And
Okay. Well,
like I said,
I check out your shorts
yeah.
too. I just subscribe.
Thank you. And like I said, I'm not trying to come at anybody. I'm not trying to tear anybody down in a derogatory manner. But I'm just gonna say people need to stop overreacting. Like this is getting out of control now. Y'all
Yeah,
overreacting to things that don't need to be.
I really think you got a little static in the background. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
I really think that if people would have probably been watching him for a long time, I don't think as many people would have been truly concerned in that way. But the fact that we don't know this dude, he got a gun, I think that had a lot to do with it because people really didn't know him or know of his character or behavior, like the black sector or the conscious sector, stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it is where it
you're
is
right.
now. I mean, and I don't even know the dude, but I do still hope the best for him.
Yo, I still got that static.
Nope.
Okay, all right. So yeah, and like I said, I appreciate you letting me up and everything like that. Salute to your the other person. I'm not sure if I got their name.
The other one that just jumped off was Nicole. She said she got a phone call, and then we had Mrs. Cruiser on there, the one who was going back and forth with you, Miss Cruiser.
Yeah, salute, man. It's a I understand what's going on, and that's why I said just be smarter as a subscriber because you don't want to it's not worth it in the end. And then on top of that, I have respect for that lady, regardless of what we have talked about today or the points we didn't see eye to eye on. I do respect and I respect all the ladies that's in all sectors, even this sector and even the hood table. So, don't, no harm, no foul, but we
Yeah,
can always have a
absolutely.
healthy conversation. And let me exit with that and I'll see y'all later.
All right, I'll holler at you, and I'll be over on your channel too. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, bro, you still there? I know that was a lot of conversation, huh?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
So, what do you think about everything we talked about? I know you have. I know you might not follow everybody, all the players, but I know you know a little bit about what's going on.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, everybody has interesting takes on it. The more the brother man has a very valid point. Everybody had a valid point, and it was not so much an opinion. I don't like to look at facts as being points. I look at them as being just that. So if they're facts, then that means they're guaranteed there is some level of truth into them. So I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what it do seem like is that she the one has the hidden hand of playing the the both sides and all sides. So I mean, if it's like that, then yeah, she playing a real dangerous game. But then again, when you have those type of mental capacities, then that is not a game to you. That's more saying like I can care less. Ain't nobody. I'm gonna get you before you get me. So I mean, it's sad if that's the way she playing it. And fucked up if that brother is, got to be locked down or locked up or some shit. Even though he knows the rules and he knows what he should and shouldn't be doing. Other than that, yeah, I don't personally. I don't know the man like that. I mean, now shit, he ain't threatening me personally, and I ain't worried about it. Even if he would even try, that ain't no good thing because everybody can be reached out and touched. I can give a rat's ass about the laws and where you from and where you at. Yeah, you threaten me, then okay, we meet you with equal force. If we cannot settle it as two grown individuals, like okay, a mishap, mistake, no problem, man. No level of disrespect like that, man. I don't even know you, brother. Like real talk, I don't know what you're capable of. You don't have an understanding of what I'm capable of. So Who knows? I mean, ain't no need in us trying to figure that all out to try to prove a point. So, but to play games and then try to get, into this realm of, want to be shock jocks, like you say, and want to make coins off of all this. I mean, there's certain things that you just should not and you shouldn't be doing. And as the other sister said, yeah, with him being acting a fool online is the point that they were making. So whether she called or not, there's thousands of other people around this world that was watching. Somebody
Well,
called.
I agree, and that's why I put that comment on the screen right there, Miss Cruiser. That's one thing that we all gonna agree on. Let's be grown folk and be self-responsible, make good decisions. Because at the end of the day, who got played? I think they both got played.
Yeah, I mean that's all. I'm just saying. I'm
Let
like,
me clarify that. Then I'll let you go ahead. I think Rob. I think they both got played. I think Tracy got played because I mean, look what he was doing to her on live YouTube. Just as we call slutting her out, for the clicks and views and the coinage. But then I feel like Rob, I don't think still that she was in any danger. And like a lot of people might say he got played. I say he got played too because he got busted upside the head. He didn't retaliate. He didn't do nothing to her. Yeah, he complained about it, but he ended up the one in jail, and she ends up coming home. I don't know where she is. She probably still in California somewhere. She might be home, but she still got played. She still got played. Shoot.
I mean,
Can
it's
I say
And
hey
again,
man,
she
it's
played herself. If you want to be
basically,
real, pimping herself out on YouTube for the world to see.
and that ain't cool. I mean, like I said, for some clicks and views. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's if that's what people want to do, then that's what you do, man. I mean, but don't involve other people's, and then now because it makes it seem like, okay, you out here hustling, motherfuckers. Like, damn, that's how you get down. And when you start, like she said, when you start using very sensitive subjects and things like that, because that ain't even triple trigger on me. When it comes to domestic violence, man, I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time to be seeing nobody going through that. That shit is real, man. There ain't about to be no domestic violence not on my watch and I don't know, Ram. I don't give a damn what the hell's going on. Y'all better figure that shit out and get the fuck away from each other. Because
Yeah, domestic violence is
either one of
real.
y'all, if either one of y'all reach, you better make sure that you quicker than me. But other
And
than that,
that's what old boy was saying in the chat up above. I think that was Mr. Move Around or someone who said, it don't matter what state you in, whether it's concealed or open carry or whatever, but you should never brandish or pull out a weapon unless you're going to use it. That's a big lesson here. Also, another lesson is don't be traveling out of town and staying 7 nights at the Red Roof Inn and stuff when you don't really know the person. I mean, we know Rob didn't do anything to her, but hell, for all we know, he could have been a mass murderer. He could have been a predator. He could have been a rapist. He could have been. I mean, she didn't know that dude that well. A few months.
exactly. That's
I
what that's,
mean, it's
that's
a
what I'm
whole bunch
saying.
of mistakes that was made here, like on both parties. And I hope they both learn their lesson in the end.
can I say can I say that
Go ahead, babe.
to be honest, this was like a Mexican standoff and everybody went down. So it's to the point that you can't blame Rob for Tracy. You can't blame Tracy for Rob. You got to blame each other for each other's own actions. She's a grown woman. She knew what she was getting into, and if she didn't, she should have known. He's a grown man, and if he's holding or having a weapon, he should know all of the responsibilities that goes with that, as well as he knew what his legal woes were. So he should have known that first of all, you don't get on social media brandishing a weapon. Period. Point blank. It's not just not a good thing to do. Second of all, neither of them knew each other any more than from the YouTube platform. So you ought to know with all of the warnings that we get to our children and everybody else about meeting people on social media and then meeting them in real person. You could be anybody you want to be. I could be Beyonce with the Becky good hair. But when you get in front of me and see me, I got short hair
and I'm a little bit round in places. You understand me? Not quite built like Beyonce, but I can say what I want to say on social media. Everybody is grown. Everybody over 18, over 21, whatever the case may be. When she flew out to see Ronald McDonald or whatever the name is, when she flew out to see him, she should have known what to expect. And when he went to the out to the Red Roof Inn or the Bed Bug Inn or whatever it's called, he should have known what he was coming up against when they went from place to place to place, and they knew that the peoples was following up behind them, doxing and making calls. You knew all the things that you were up against. So the only people you have to blame is you yourself. And I'm speaking in terms of the two of them. Everybody else, you got some people that were concerned. You got some people that was just doxing and doing what they do. You got some that's being nosy and just channel hopping just to see. And you got some folks just like me standing back and see what the walls look like. So you cannot be blaming everybody else. I don't care what kind of receipts, what kind of acknowledgments, who come up and take and claim they're part of what they're doing. The bottom line to it all is Tracy grown, Rod grown. If they didn't know, they should have known. And that's on them. Period. Point blank.
Period. Period. Everybody made wonderful points, like real talk. Willie, Nicole, Miss Cruiser. I love you some Miss Cruiser. Everybody, even I think what was her name? I'm sorry, Silky. Silky came up here for a minute. You know, everybody made some valid points. You and Bro and everyone. And again, you know, this is going to be one of those topics where everybody's going to agree to disagree to agree, you know, forever. Just like the R. Kelly thing, like we just saw they dropped the charges on him in Chicago. So, you know what I mean? Everybody's gonna agree and disagree, you know, on topics like this because, you know, especially in this type of sector when we see so much F shit go down all the time, and a lot of times it's because people are doing the most to get the clicks and views and the coins, and a lot of time we get these manufactured storylines, you know, people acting like they all up in arms over shit that it's just a, you know, just a storyline. It's just for the clicks and the views. And that's why for the longest, I mean, when I first, I don't know about y'all, but when I first came into the B sector years ago, when they used to call it the section 8 sector, I used to hang on to everything people said because that was the first time I really realized that people was on here like the reality shows like BBY's, you know, Housewives of Atlanta. I was like, oh, this is cool. People really on here doing shows like this. You know, I stopped watching cable and everything. But then as the years progressed, I realized all the people fighting to make up and all the fake storylines, and like you can't never believe people telling you they outright liars. I mean, all kind of stuff. And so it was then where now I just watch to be entertained. I really do. I watch to be entertained. I don't hate nobody on here. There's people here who really hate people on here in real life because of something they might have done to somebody else. But then next week or next month, those people make up, and then you're like, oh damn, I used to hate this person, so now I gotta like this person because my favorite YouTuber likes this person. Like the shit that Tracy and them was going through with Kimmy. Like they have all these supporters who hate the other content creator, and now because it's alliance, people gotta be like, well, goddamn, now I gotta deal with all these people who was in this chat, that chat, that chat. When for all these years, our content creator hated them. And we all had their back. So that's why I don't follow the crowd. I like who I like. I subscribe to who I like. If you don't like somebody, that's between y'all. There's people I like that my sis follow and don't follow, and vice versa. It's like, you know, we like who we like. But yeah, you got to be careful with that shit because some of these people will have you so pulled into a storyline, it ain't nothing but for clicks and views, and you getting all riled up and angry at people and wanting to fight people in real life and all that shit. And I'm sure some of that same shit going on in the other sectors, you know. But yeah, that's real shit right there. But yeah, do y'all got anything else y'all want to say about this? Otherwise, y'all know Jay Wilson's supposed to go live at noon, right? And he's supposed to be revealing some, I don't know what, text messages, some receipts or something. Y'all, does this have to do with Kimmy owing Miss Understood $300? Is that what Jay Wilson will be talking about at noon, or does this have something to do with something else? Because he also mentioned Joyce and Sean Bradley, how they said Sean Bradley didn't pay Joyce or whatever for beating all the faces down there at the show. So I don't
Mm.
know what's going on at noon, but Jay Wilson said it's not clickbait.
I don't know, but I know.
Oh, on Tree? Okay, okay.
I
He's
know
dropping
we
text
got some
messages on
new
Tree.
subbies. We got some new subbies on her.
Yes, yes. And Nicole said he's going to be dropping text messages on Tree. And yes, we do have some new subbies, and I appreciate you guys because we're trying to grow our backup channels. Y'all know I came onto YouTube on my Tanya's PrimeTime TV channel, and a lot of people know me from there, and then they followed me over to the Hood Table. So now we have the Hood Table backup channel, which is the Hood Table 402. And we still got the Times Prime Time. So I'm trying to grow both of those channels and get the Hood Table channel monetized. So you guys, if you can just subscribe to, either channel, we appreciate it. And those who have subscribed, please, please, please know that we are so appreciative of everyone over here who follows us on our little old channels. So thank you so much. But yeah, he said, Nicole said he's dropping text messages on Tracy. Is it a scandal, y'all? Is it a scandal? Is it my Kimmy voice? Is it juicy?
Sound like
Is it juicy?
a bunch of nigga shit.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna be over there. He said he's going at high noon. He said he's going live at noon, and I'm gonna be over there.
I know.
About. And we gonna see if they gonna be upset with him as they was with BEEFING313 when he had his that shit was so funny. He was so mad at beefing over that damn phone call.
Hey, bro.
What's up?
I was watching this thing. It came on in the middle of the night on Tubi about a funeral home near a Lewis funeral home.
Hmm.
And they were doing a thing called Passing On, and it was talking about the man there that's the top embalmer in the country or something like that. But it was out of San Antonio, Texas. I'm gonna send that link over there to you so you can see what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't doubt it, cause
I wanted to see if you were familiar with it.
oh, you said Lewis?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they shit. They who don't they bury down there? Yeah, you croaking, they kick it. They stuff you on up. Why they give you a taxidermy treatment?
Well, they got a
Yeah,
whole movie about them, a whole documentary.
they had you laced up, boy.
Okay, so they said Zion Movement said Jay Wilson is supposed to show text that he was actually concerned about Tracy and he didn't know it was a show per se or a play.
He lying, Craig. He lying.
Y'all
We
see.
shall see, honey. We shall see.
Oh, I
The
don't
coach
know.
said
I
it's
don't
going to be
know.
a show.
Oh, so somebody tell him.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Y'all head on over there now. If y'all don't get what y'all expect, like how some of y'all feel like y'all didn't get what y'all expected from BEEFING313, don't blame it on me because I told y'all he going live. Don't come back over here saying the Hood Table or Tanya said for us to go over there and we was expecting all this big old revelation. So I'm heading over there just like y'all because I just want to know what's going on.
Well, Beefing is live now.
Beefing is live now. Oh Lord. Well, let me see. I guess I'll head over there first, and then head over to Jay Wilson. But everybody has been Sean Bradley, Tree. Everybody has been going live. It's so hard to keep up with everybody. So hard. This just reminds me of the old B sector days. When you just running around channel to channel to channel to channel, trying to get all the tea at the same time.
Looking crazy.
Looking crazy, girl. And that's when that phrase came from. Remember Tracy kept saying she keep leaving her flip flops on somebody's block
Oh
because she
yeah.
was ripping and running all over the YouTube streets.
Looking crazy.
You're like, Chad, a flip flop. I done left my.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Let me try to get some progress here, y'all. Pray
All
for
right,
me.
love you guys.
For
Pray
sure,
for me.
love y'all too. Oh, will do. You know you got it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Hey, well, you don't only do what you can do. Hell, shit, ain't nothing else going on. what more you think you can is supposed to do? If you can only go 10 miles a day, what makes you think you're gonna be able to go 11 if all you got enough of to go is a 10? That don't make
Right.
sense. Do what you can do and keep it moving. Shit, don't stretch yourself out. As the late great Dick Gregory would say, stop allowing these people in society systems to give us sleep deprivation. That's one of the number one biggest killers of us all. Literally, a slow death, sleep deprivation. Got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that, and got to do this, and they ain't doing shit.
And end up with an ulcer.
Exactly. Ulcer in the brain, ulcer in the stomach, ulcer in your heart. Hell, ulcers is like cancer now. Just to make a long story short, it used to be when they said you had cancer, it was like, okay, what kind of cancer? You just had cancer. Now you got everything from A to Z. Ain't no cancer, eye cancer, throat cancer, oral cancer, chest cancer, lung, kidney, liver, spleen, gallbladder, bone, toe, fingernail. Now they got nail cancer because they run around here with these UV rays, these unregulated UV rays at these nail salons and cutting y'all over with them cuticle tip things and cutting and over there giving you bacterial infections that's turning cancerous. So now it's like shit. Every damn thing is damn near cancerous. So you got to just be careful what you put in your brain. Don't stress shit. I know it's tough. I promise you, man.
Yep, yep. Nicole said teeth
Yeah.
cancer too. Yep.
Everything. And so it's like, no, there ain't no need to doing all that, man. No, these people want us the hell up out of here. I mean, they want us to stress about the fact that even though y'all ain't supposed to know that the fact that the Ukrainians is getting SSI, but that ain't none of my business. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking about the people there that they didn't brought on over here so far in the whole nine, but we ain't gonna talk about all that and how this country they got homeless vets, but you got people over here that because they so called come from a war torn country, how they able to get in in a $700,000 plus property, with stamps and EBT and free insurance and college and all that old good stuff. And shit, you go and hell, if you even ask for application, they'll put you on the blacklist. But that ain't none of my business. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna see what Jay Wilson is
Yeah,
or
what's that?
whoever the hell.
All right.
Chivia,
You know what I'm saying?
Chivia said, "Yep, 15 minutes." Nicole said she sent me an email. Are you talking about email or are you talking about my IG DM? Because I'm looking on my email. I don't see anything on my
Mm.
email, but I'm really bad at checking emails, y'all. So please don't charge it to my mind and not my heart.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't see anything in my email. But okay, bro, you gonna head over to JW's too? I know Cicely gonna meet me over there.
I mean, I'll see whatever. I shit. I mean, I'll log in. I mean, I'm not logging, but I'm gonna slide through. I'm gonna be in the.
Yeah, we gonna slide on them. We gonna
I
slide.
ain't got to. I ain't got to comment on nothing. I don't know that man like that. I don't need no.
Right,
I don't do back and forth. I'm real shit. You only a few hours away. We that's my second home. We can talk if we need to. Whether it's on
right,
the east side, north side, southeast side, we want to go over to Martin Luther King, or we can meet up over there on East Houston or Commerce, however you want to do it.
Yeah,
I
y'all
ain't got
right
no
now.
problem with
Y'all near each other.
it. Don't play with me.
You Tracy
Yeah.
and Jay Wilson all down there.
Yeah, shit. We don't worry. Randolph, Randolph. What you
Yeah,
call
you
that?
knew where Tracy's apartments was
What
as
you
soon
call
as you
that?
seen me
Randolph.
scroll down the
What you call
video.
it? Parking
You was like,
ride.
oh yeah, she over there off of
Yeah. We can do Randolph Parker ride. Yeah, she over there off 1,000 Oaks and all that. Come on, man. They don't play with me. I got family, but I lived here too long not to know the city, man. I didn't. My toes and corns and bunions has been around.
Yeah,
So
Nicole, I still don't see your
don't play.
child. Yeah, hit me up in the DMs. I'm on IG as the Hood Table. So
Ain't
hit
no
me up.
doxing without no doxing.
Yeah, hit me up on IG.
You gonna dox today. But yeah, so it's definitely handle your business. Don't trip. Don't beat yourself up. God got you here. He got us all right now, even in the midst of all this turmoil. You know.
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir. And everybody, we're gonna head on out. I'm gonna check out Beefing for a minute, and then JW is supposed to go live at noon. I don't know what's all he got, but he said he's supposed to be revealing something, some messages or something. So
The
you guys
tea. That's what he got. Let me see
yeah,
what kind
head
of
over
tea
there if
he
you
got.
want to. No pressure. Head over there if you want to. I know some of y'all don't even like him, but y'all know y'all watch
Too
people
bad.
that y'all don't like. We all watch people that we don't like over here, especially if there's tea over there or
That is
something going down. So
uh,
don't be ashamed to say you be following people that you don't really like. It's just YouTube.
I
It's
gotta
just
make it look good.
but yeah, I'm looking at my spam. Yeah, just hit me up on IG. That's the best way to reach out to me,
I see
y'all.
you in a minute.
Hit me on my DM on IG.
Mm.
Yeah. So and then any of you guys, if you want to be a blessing to the YouTube content creators, my cash app is down there in the chat and on the screen, the Hood Table 402. My bros up here, everybody else can drop down already. Count Amaru is his cash app, but usually when I have people on the panel, if we're having a discussion, I don't mind people putting their cash app as their name on their when they jump up here on the panel. I don't mind people putting their cash app in. So I know some content creators do, but I don't have a problem with that, especially when you wasting, and I don't want to say wasting, but lending your time. I'll say it that way, lending your time and your commentary to
Mm.
our panels. I don't mind you putting your cash app. So yeah, who knows? Somebody might think what you had to say was really, really beneficial to them or whatnot, and they want to bless you too. So go ahead, feel free. But on that note, you guys, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, a blessed week. Next week, is that next week? We gonna have another 3-day weekend? Or the week
Something
after?
like
I
that.
can't remember. But have a blessed week. And as usual, always stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, like, share, and support. And also always, always, always remember
You
to
would
good.
brush your teeth and free cash. Y'all know what it is.
But they already dropped some of his damn charges, old pervert. But anyway,
You're right. All right, I see you
all
in
right,
reference to
bro. Keep it
peace for
hood.
sure. All
Bye,
right.
Nikki, and anybody else in the chat. I don't know who's still here.